Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to give you some context about what you're going to watch. Essentially, me and my client, David Meessen, sat down for a little interview about his experience working with me, the results he got before and after, and just kind of overall why personal brand matters, why positioning matters, why premium quality matters for your brand, especially if you're selling a premium product to premium audiences. But also if you want to grow your personal brand, I have created a video breaking down the process of how we grew David's audience to over 1 million across all social media platforms. It's in our Facebook group. The link is in the description. I'll see you there. Anyway, so just to introduce you real quick, David Meessen, a dating coach, fantastic dating coach. Check him out first of all. Yeah, like we met a while ago. When was that? Like years ago, really. A couple of years ago, during peak of C19, actually, I believe. Yeah, so how did we actually get to working together? That's the first thing I'm wondering. And I don't remember the whole thing.
A common friend of us introduced us, right? Andre introduced us. And then you first started helping me with videos, right? Shooting videos. Before that, I was doing most of it myself, right? Not that I'm good, but I've done a lot of videos over the years. So obviously I thought I knew what I was doing. Turned out I didn't. And then we started first shooting videos together. You helped us with the video production, but I was still editing myself. Just through the shoot, the video quality went up. And then at some point you were like, hey, maybe I should edit those videos for you as well. And then, yeah, that was fantastic. But I'm sure you have a couple questions around that.
Why did you hire me in the first place? To like, we started with shooting, but then editing, so let's just start with shooting first and then...
Well, with the shooting, first, one is because you can do things by yourself, but if you have somebody who's an expert at something, that's always going to be better, right? And I saw your work on Instagram. But I saw of what you've done before, and I was like, well, it can probably be cool. And then your understanding of angles, your understanding of a setup, that just made an immediate difference, right? So we saw that obviously in more views, then in more leads. It resulted in business changes, which was great. And then you said, hey, maybe let me try out editing some videos. And I remember I was reluctant in the beginning. I was like, I'm not sure. I think I can do it myself. Yeah, I was like, I can do this myself, I think. And then I was like, okay, cool, we'll try this out. And then it was awesome, right? The difference was not just with captions or anything, but again, the whole angle, the switch, keeping people engaged. Because short form content is very different to YouTube formats, you know? So a lot needs to happen to keep people engaged. But yeah, we got fantastic views pretty much straight away. You can get a lot of views in the wrong way, but it was the way it was presented was obviously good. Like premium quality matters, right? It depends on what your service is, right? But if you're selling to a premium audience, then the submodalities of how it's produced really matters, right? Video quality, angles, the setup, the whole production, the captions, because a lot of people use captions that are real wacky, you know? And so those things matter, you know?
Yeah, that's actually really funny. The other thing, that you said the quality went up, right? And like nobody did this similar type of content in your industry.
No.
And we just kind of, I don't want to say pioneered it, but like...
No, we did.
We kind of...
No, we did.
We literally took it to the next level. And so what was like the initial feedback from your audience or your customers? Because I mentioned, you mentioned, I remember the first video I edited for you, you got like instantly...
200,000 or 300,000 views or something.
Yeah, and like you got feedback from people telling you like,
oh yeah. In the first couple of weeks of changing, people came to me and they said, did you change your editor? And I was like, not just from unqualified people in terms of customer base, but in terms of clients. Existing clients said that to me. That was the thing where I realized, oh, that makes a big difference. Because existing clients came to me and said, oh, did you change something? It looks really good. And I said, okay, well, if the existing clients who fall right into my target audience say that, well, that obviously has some bearing.
Yeah, so it kind of positions you in a good place to begin with. Yeah. What would be the things that you kind of maybe enjoyed? This is more like personal feedback. Like I don't know if I'll quiz, but like,
yeah, sure.
Probably will. Like the good stuff.
One of the greatest things is you can hire somebody who has a technical expertise, but who's a pain in the ass to work with. Like you always had fantastic energy that you brought. Sincerely, I always appreciated it because we had shoots that went long.
I think first shoot took us like
12
hours.
or more, you know. And if you have somebody who has a good technical expertise, but not the right energy, that's not fun. So you brought a lot of great energy. You brought ideas to it as well, which was really nice. So we were like, well, how about we try this? How about we try that? And then we brainstormed, right? And we said, okay, well, I don't like this, but this is a better idea. So very open-minded. It was a very, very pleasant experience. It was really good. Because, as I said, like you want to have both. You don't just want somebody who's nice, but who doesn't possess the technical expertise, because then you're not going to get the results. But you're also not going to get the results if you don't enjoy working with a person. So overall, really, really, really pleasant experience. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Yeah.
My ego is pleased. Good. But now the bad things. Let's say maybe the things that you didn't enjoy, or maybe you didn't like as much, or what could be improved. Let's put it that way. I got you thinking now.
Yeah, because I'm trying to give an honest answer. Let me think for a sec. I don't have anything right now. And if I were to think for a couple hours, I'd probably come up with something. But the reason I don't have anything is because I haven't experienced anything better yet. Because I haven't experienced anybody who's better at his craft than you have so far.
Okay.
That's why I would have to experience somebody who's better, because which probably doesn't exist. But I'd probably have to find someone like that to be able to be aware of the delta. Right now, I don't. Like, I probably could come up with something, but even if I were to think of something, it would probably be minor.
That's
Yeah, no. If I genuinely had something that's top of mind right now that would have bothered me, like if there's some, like I'm genuinely trying to think that there isn't anything that I could think of, because it was good. You gave great ideas. It was good.
I was ready to take notes and be like, yes, I need to improve all of these things.
Yeah. No. I might think of something and I'll let you know. But if there would have been anything, I would have absolutely let you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Honestly,
honestly, didn't expect that.
No, but I think you saw that also from the way we worked together. Like, it was a very enjoyable experience. Because if you're a content creator, if you're new to it, it's all exciting. But if you've done it for a while, it can get a little repetitive. Because in any industry, you have these 8 to 12 pain points, or these 8 to 12 points that you're trying to convey to the audience, right? And then you find different angles, and it can get a little bit repetitive. So, but I always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed looking forward to it because it was fun. We had fun together. We made it really fun. We shot some videos here in this cool setting. It was all. I always felt more energy. Like I might have felt exhausted, but definitely the day after, I always felt more energized than before. It was always something. I was like, oh, cool, because you had cool ideas that you brought to it. I was like, oh yeah, you got the angle just right, and we nerded out about it. Probably nobody gives a fuck about it as much as the people who created it do.
Yeah.
But like overall, the feeling of premiumness is conveyed. But we also definitely really enjoyed the process. Yeah, for sure.
I think there's a lot of nuances in when you're creating content in terms of, like, even some sort of psychological things. Like the things that we care about, they do affect the viewers. Let's put it that way. So they kind of keeps them engaged, or like making them take a certain action or stuff like that, just from those little things. One other thing, because obviously, when you delegate something, like you were doing everything yourself, right? But then once you delegate it, how much time did that save you? Like a month, just by allowing me to do all your editing and
30 to 60 hours a month.
30 to 60 hours a month.
Yeah.
So
because it's an hour a day. It was between an hour to two a day for me.
Just so filming and creating and editing and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's not just what you got to think about. It's not just the time, because if I spend an hour editing, it's not just that I have an hour less time. It's also energy. Because it's the opportunity cost of what I could have done with it, right? So it's an hour in of itself, but it's also, even if I were to just spend the time relaxing, I would have more energy available for other business activities. For clients, for example.
Yeah. Delivering better product or improving your product while
product, like be it the sales, the marketing, the fulfillment side, whatever.
Just overall,
you know, yes, 100%.
I think that's a huge point. People kind of forget it, because that's what I learned after I hired a VA myself, like to do admin stuff, because I spent a lot of time.
The soul-sucking activities, because you're sitting there, because people like you, we want to focus on our craft, that's what we're good at, but we also need to have energy available, and there's only so many points of energy we have during the day, and if it's spent on the things that we may not necessarily enjoy doing ourselves, or we're not that great at it, and because we're not that great at it, we don't enjoy it as much, well then we don't have as much energy left to dedicate to our clients or the craft.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Any tangible results from just working with me? Because you mentioned views, followers.
Yeah, we started at we were at 100 something.
We were literally 107.
107.
Something like that.
Yeah, well now I'm at 370.
Yeah, so between that time, I added like 250K followers, which is it's huge.
On Instagram, not TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I don't even know your TikTok actually. How much was it before we started? I don't know.
300, 400,000, and TikTok is now on 700,000. So think about that, right? Now, obviously, a follower on Instagram is worth more than a follower on TikTok. That's just, in my opinion, that's true. But yeah, going from 104,000 on Instagram to now 370,000.
Yeah. It's a bit of an increase in 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, people can imagine the impact that has, you know?
Just the brand itself is crazy.
Yeah, there's people, I'm not going to drop names, but there's people watching and liking my stuff, and then, obviously, I see it with the clients that I work with. I've been working with very, very, a high clientele of clients, and, normal people as well. But sometimes I see somebody like my stuff who's this is, not necessarily like really famous people
Yeah.
liking my shit. I'm like, or people following me. I'm like, that guy follows me? No way. You know?
Actually, I remember a very clear instance when I told you that Chris Willicks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I was like, I saw the podcast. You know, he recently released an episode with Sam Harris. Very interesting. Gotta check that out. But yeah, absolutely, man. There's a huge increase in brand.
Yeah. Because I enjoyed this whole process, like growing, like helping you grow. It's been actually a wild ride from the first shoot, like 12 hours, and then dialing it back a little bit, or becoming more productive, more streamlined.
Oh yeah, another thing was you because we did a lot of like outfit changes and angle changes, because if we're shooting in the penthouse, then there's only so many spots. And then instead of going here and going back there, you said, okay, well, we'll film 4 or 5 or 6 on the same spot and we just change outfits. It became a lot more efficient. So the first shoot took us 12 hours, and in the end we cut it down by 6, like,
eight.
8.
Yeah.
So that's a huge increase.
Yeah.
Sorry, in productivity and a decrease in time spent.
Yeah, time spent, yeah. And I think that's, would you say, did you learn anything from that process? Just kind of like,
So many things.
what would be the one thing that you would tell like the viewer right now who's watching this, who's maybe creating content or like trying to create content?
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. You think you're doing a good job, but probably you aren't. It's the fact. It's true. Because probably you have an area of expertise, right? Whatever that person's expertise is, be it on the business side of things, be it in whether you have a B2B or a B2C business, you have an expertise, and that's where you're good at. And outside of that, you suck, most likely. And I do too, right? We have this one area of expertise, and then we have ideas, right? I've been in fitness for a real long time. Okay, I thought I'm good. Then I compared myself to one of my friends who's probably the best weight loss coach in Germany. I realized I know nothing, okay? Same here. I was like, I thought I was good at creating content, and I was. I created over 1,000 short form videos at that stage, 1,500 before we started working together. I made hundreds of YouTube videos. So, surely I know what I'm doing. Nope, you don't. And it's little things that make a big difference in terms of how your brand is perceived, in terms of the efficiency of the process, in terms of things you don't know about the hooks and the structure and the set. Like we've gotten so many learnings together that you'll be able to pass on, and from other clients that you've worked with, right? So you think you know what you don't even know what you know. You don't even know what you don't know. That's the thing. And we all have those in different areas. And we can all, if you don't have the result you want in your marketing right now or in your brand or your business, it's because there's things you don't know that you don't know. There's currently things you don't know, but there's these blind spots that we all have. So the ROI of working with you has been tremendous.
Here's the thing, you're really good at presenting stuff. It's like you just have the skill of like talking, because you made thousands of videos to this date, right? So to anybody who's like creating content, right? And they're like maybe afraid of putting, actually not even creating content, who's thinking of creating content, but they are afraid of putting themselves out there because of the way they look or something like that, you know, what would you tell them? Because keep it in mind, one more thing is that they see the person's brand, you have like a successful personal brand, but they don't understand that it's like your whole brand and your business is just built off social, like short form content and YouTube nurturing and stuff like that. But most of it is based on that, like really, like, and yeah, what would you just tell those people?
Well, let me address that fear or worry component. We're worried about what people think of us. And I was hugely insecure on my teeth, because I got crooked as shit teeth. My mother, I absolutely love her, but she's a bit more natural, right? So she's like yoga and Ayurveda, and when I grew up a little child in Germany, everybody was getting braces. She was like, that's just another one of those trends. He doesn't need braces. They're like, Mom, I love you, but I should have gotten braces. So now I got crooked as shit teeth, and I need to do something about that. They're healthy, but they're just a little like, I look like a vampire. And I remember when I first started making videos, years and years and years ago, it was in 2013, 2014, I was very self-conscious around that. I was self-conscious around me being ginger. I was self-conscious around what 1 or 2 or 3 people might say about me. Because if you're worried about what people think, you're usually not worried about the world. There's a couple of people whose judgment we're worried about. And here's the thing that I would encourage you to think about. You don't have the choice in life to not get judged. The only choice you have is who you want to get judged by. Whenever you put yourself out there or not put yourself out there, you're going to get judged. You're either going to get judged if you put yourself out there by people who are really unhappy with themselves. Because if you genuinely do something that's good, you're putting yourself out there, even if you make mistakes, and you're gonna make mistakes. I look at the first couple of videos I made back in the day and I cringe so hard. That's why it's useful to help somebody with the process in the beginning, right? I could have probably saved myself thousands of hours. You're going to make mistakes. But the people who judge you for that, they're in a very, very unhappy place themselves. I mean, think about that. You've done that yourself. Whenever you've been most judgmental of people, it wasn't when you felt happy. When you're truly happy and content with yourself, you don't tend to judge others. That's one thing. But you're either going to get judged by those people for putting yourself out there, or you're going to get judged by people like me or other people who are doing well, the people that you'd like to be with, the people who are playing at higher levels than yourself, at least in certain areas, right? They're going to judge you for not putting yourself out there. Whatever you do or don't do, you can't be passive. You can't not get judged. Right now, somebody's judging you. Right now, the people that you'd like to be with who are playing at a higher level in business, in whatever craft you have, they are judging you for not putting yourself out there. That's the only choice you have, who you want to get judged by. The types of people that you want to associate with or the types of people you don't want to associate with. It's going to happen either way. So you might as well get judged by some people for doing the good thing. Because what do you want to do? Do you want to be the guy playing in the arena, the gladiator, or the people watching? Well, it's very easy, it's very safe if you're hidden in the masses. But if you're actually out there and you're making mistakes, of course people judge you. I get so many hate comments to this day, it's crazy. But do I give a fuck? No, it doesn't matter. Because first of all, it's going to have a great impact for your business. You're going to be able to reach more clients, you're going to be able to help more people, and you'll be a role model for the people who are in your life. So obviously you have that. But also understand, your brain thinks you're going to die when you put yourself out there. Your brain thinks something really bad is going to happen the first couple of times. And then you realize, oh, you think, and then one thing that's funny is when you put yourself out there, people are actually going to start noticing. They're like, oh, I saw your stuff, and actually get more positive comments than negative comments. This is really interesting. You're going to get a couple of negative comments, but just, that doesn't matter online. It's some dude in his basement, you know, irrelevant, right? Fuck that guy. Completely irrelevant. And then you realize after a month or two, nothing really changes. Yeah, like for me, okay, I walk through Dublin, people want to take pictures with me every now and then, right? It's like, oh, I saw your videos, but nothing really changes. But you have to give your brain the proof, not just the promises that everything is going to be okay. Because your brain thinks something bad is going to happen if you put yourself out there. But then you do it, you actually do it, and you realize nothing changes, except for the good things that are happening. There's going to be a lot of good things happening in your business, and in terms of your self-expression, your growth as a woman or as a man, but nothing really changes. But it's the same with dating. You need to just do the approach. You need to do the thing you're afraid to do. And the good thing is if you have somebody to help you, he'll be able to help you avoid mistakes that could harm your brand. Because there's things everybody does in the beginning that harms their brand that they don't even realize. So yeah, I think only beautiful things are going to happen. And you're going to get judged either by winners for not taking constructive action, or you're going to get judged by losers. I know it's an overly simplified way of looking at it, for doing the great things. So just choose who you want to get judged by.
That's actually a really cool tangent that you went on, like mindset complete thing. It's just like, I had a good, you said so many good things there. I had like, I need to come back to this and I need to come back to this, but I totally forgot about it. So it's like, overall, put content out there, put yourself out there, good things gonna happen. Stop.
Because that's the world we live in now. We live in the world of content. People live on their phone, right? We already have a chip implanted in our brain. It's called a phone. There's just a little bit of a physical distance, but it's basically already in there. So there's so many, I don't know, there's probably thousands of versions of myself that are on the internet right now that are being consumed. Think about that.
Oh yeah.
There are thousands of versions of myself digitally that are being consumed right now, people interacting, people benefiting from the content we're putting out. Remember the breakup video we filmed? We filmed an epic 15-minute. We filmed the reel, okay? Reels are only, well, it's posted as a post, but it still falls in the reel category. I'm not sure if it's actually posted in the reel section or just on feed. I'm not sure about the technicalities, but it's a 15-minute video on Instagram. Got 40,000 views about a breakup. On Instagram, 40,000, right? And people are watching that right now, and it's helping people right now. You're able to help people, but also understand this is not just about you. It's about how you're going to impact your family, the kind of role model you want to be, and the people you're actually going to be able to help. So I'd say, yeah, get over yourself.
Just get over yourself. That's it. Dude, appreciate it. Massive insights. Interesting mindset things there too. I think it's very valuable, not just for me, but also for people who are going to watch this. Completely unrelated to my video services. Why don't you just introduce your service?
Yeah, okay, like if you want to find a relationship, if you're a man looking for a meaningful, serious relationship, most areas in your life are going well, career is handled, business is handled, health, you're good or you're working on it, you just feel like that last missing piece of the puzzle would be somebody to share experiences with, somebody that you're physically attracted to. She doesn't have to be like a top model, but somebody that you can probably build a family with, settle down with, maybe travel with. Then, yeah, just apply for a free initial consultation call, send me a message on Instagram, and we'll have a conversation.
Check out his free content too, it's dope.
Boom.
So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are interested in growing and scaling your personal brand, getting more clients, becoming an authority figure in your industry, and you want to work with me and my team, just DM me on Instagram. We can have a little chat, and I'll see you next time.